we are going into what is officially hibernation season. I know Flaw just said, don't take your foot off the brake. Off the gas. But there is a way that a person can keep their momentum going as well as nourish what their next level of energy, goals, ideas, and direction is for the coming season, right? For the coming year, if we will. In spiritual culture, you have to take, you have to take reflective breaks, because in spiritual culture, we understand that the external manifestation is really coming from the internal condition. So if a person keeps having trouble with their finances and can't find the direction, always in trouble with this particular obligation or responsibility or bill, they just having trouble with their financial life, like it seems like all the time. Every month, there's an issue with the financial dynamic. That's not external. That's an internal care that needs to be repaired, healed, tended to.
Welcome to the Mind Body Energy Imbalance podcast.
Yeah, look at that.
Did you hit the camera?
It was something on the camera. Always got to work stuff out, boy. Let's go. And we are live. Hold on, everybody. Reality podcasting at its finest. That's what we got going on. Hopefully it'll stay up there. Okay, that's much better. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, Flo.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on with you? Hey, everybody. It's we are live on the Facebook group, Mind Body Energy Imbalance. And just kind of sending notifications. You're in that group too, aren't you?
I believe so.
Let's send folks some invitations to come join us in the group. Come join us while we're on here live. Absolutely. In the meantime, I'll greet everybody. Peace and love, everybody. It's Samut, also known as Mama Yoga, your favorite mind, body, energy, and balance coach. And we are here today talking with you, episode 27. That's what's up. And we have an exciting show today, or informative. I don't be knowing if the shows be exciting until we say something that trigger me or push a nerve, or I get a little spicy on something. But anyway, we just here to share today. Before I go get into the show a little bit, I want to share the fit. These young folk. Let me start right there. Twice in a week, I had an encounter with some young folk. That is, people, I would say in the 25 to 35 demographic. The first thing was, I had come from an event, so I was dressed, not in yoga gear and yoga pants, but I was actually dressed, woohoo, which is, quiet as is kept, going to become the norm. Go back to my norm of, putting on the fit, as they say.
Wait a minute, you had jeans on?
No, I had no jeans on. I had on an outfit, a nice, beautiful, flowing dress. I was dressed. Right? Here we go again with the age demographic, but this time we're going to have to expand it to the 40s, because obviously, so I just come from an event. It was a lovely event. I had on a beautiful flowing dress, and on the way home, I decided to go to Whole Foods, and I get out of the car and go in, and this young man was like, "Wow, sis, I'm loving the fit." And I was like, he said, "You know what I mean, right? I mean your outfit, like what you have on, the fit." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I get it, the fit. Thank you very much." He was like, "Yeah, okay, no problem. Just wanted to make sure, I wasn't speaking in a language that didn't, you couldn't relate to." Okay, right? I'll move on. Then I was at an event vending, And after the event, I go, not after, but in between taking care of my customers and clients and people who came to see, come to my table and see what I have and all of that, my booth space and everything. So I went around to all the other vendors, and this young lady, she couldn't have been older than 30. She said, I said, "Oh, I love your work. Beautiful work." She writes, she does like a illustrated puzzle of African American children. Beautiful puzzles, right? So I went up to her booth and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is great work. Do you have a card?" She was like, "No," but the other thing was she didn't stand up, she didn't look at me, and those of you all who are out there seasoned market vending people, I should say, you know that when a customer comes to your booth, you engage your customer, you look at him, you stand up, you explain whatever. She didn't do none of that. She stayed looking at her phone, and she like looks up at me from the phone, and she stays sat and everything. So I was like, "Oh my goodness, your stuff is so great. Do you have a card?" And she was like, "No, I don't have a card." She looked up at me. "No, I don't have a card, but I do have my QR code is right there. You can scan it." And then she stopped with her phone and said, "Do you want me to show you how to work it?" This is, y'all know where I'm going, right? You know where I'm going. I said, "No, my dear, I think I can work it out." Right? So the whole thing to say is, just because you got some seasoning on you don't mean you don't know how to work this technology shit, because we have to keep up no matter what our generation. We have to be, and especially if you're someone like me, I am interested in learning. Like, I'm interested in learning all that, is relevant and helpful to my life. I'm not just a studier for the sake of studying. I'm interested in learning things that I know can help my life, enhance my life, and all of that, right? So I started out to say, young folk, don't get it twisted about seniors, elder people, or people you perceive to be old. A lot of us is rocking that technology harder than you all, right? So don't even go there. But anyhow, now that I got that off the chest, let me show you the fit today. This is One Art, which is a community center. Really, it is a cultural hub in Philadelphia, a cultural campus run by Malika and her husband, One, and that beautiful family. And it's a huge, wonderful place. And this is their hoodie, which I love. Let me just show you all this again. Talk about the fit. Let's go. So anyway, this is one of my favorite hoodies. It's all, they have them in many colors, and this one is tie-dyed and it's green and gray, a little yellow splashed in there. And because these lights is on me, child, and it's hot, I'm gonna take this hoodie off. How your week going, Flo? Everything good with you?
Oh yeah, everything's good with me. I just wanted to touch on a little bit about the young kids, about how they interacted with you, because a few
Mhm.
things crossed my mind. Right, is was that your first time experience cell phone customer service?
What?
Was that your first time experience cell phone customer service? Like, hey, I'm on my phone, but I'm attending to my business at the same time.
No, it wasn't, but it's annoying every single time.
Because I know I've experienced that, like, at a
Mhm.
restaurant, well, not at a restaurant, but at a food,
Mhm.
chain, right? You place an order, and it's just like they got the phone, but this happened years ago, and I knew we was in trouble when
Yeah,
it's just like you cannot put that phone down. First off, you're not even supposed to have phones, right, when you take a
right.
somebody's order, but something was on that phone that was so
Uh-huh.
important that, hey, I can do both. Right,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, we dealing with 19, 20-year-olds, we dealing with the youth, or even younger than that, because, places like, McDonald's and Burger King, they hire you at like 16, right? So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how old you have to be to work the cash register, but it just sometimes you can shake your head and just be like, it is what it is. And
Right.
shake
Floss.
your head and just be like,
Yeah, that's all right. Speaking of not knowing how to work the
yeah.
technology.
But and just to piggyback off of that, right, is people like you and I think we are the best of both worlds where you have, people who refuse to get into technology at all. And then you
Mhm.
have people who were just born into technology, right? Like you have
Right.
people that was actually born into these social media apps. You and
Absolutely.
right, we are the best of both worlds because we can do the apps and we can still do real life.
Mhm.
So maybe there might be something that we don't know, right? But it's not enough to keep us out, right? So just
Right.
having the best of both worlds. My week has been tremendous. Last night, it's good to experience these things with my son, Jabri. He's my
Mhm.
22-year-old adult son. Uh,
Mhm.
you know, we're in business together, and we actually won a cruise, a little boat trip.
You better hit that clapping button.
Oh, where were we at? We were trying to remember. Hey, forget that clap button. I'm trying to
Oh,
remember. Yeah, I'm trying to pod and get these buttons right. Be throwing me off. I'm trying to remember where we left, but it was we got to see the
mhm.
Statue of Liberty. We got to ride around for like 4 hours. It's kind of like the boat trip we took on my mom's birthday last
Right.
year, right? It's the same thing, but we left from New Jersey, um, and we just got to party with a lot of people that's doing a lot of big things in our surroundings, right? Millionaires, six-figure earners, right? And like I said, the energy is just different because these people cheer you on to get where they're at, not bring you around them to say, "Hey, you work for me and you'll never have
Right.
this type of energy," right? That's always different. Hey, you'll
Wow.
never get this, right? Just go keep making your $20 an hour. We're already overpaying you, right? This is my company. I'm the CEO. But in a
Mm.
sense, right, what we do, it benefits everyone to be as successful as you can be, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Right.
So
It does.
nobody wants to hold you down because hey, if I do tremendously, then the people that I'm associated with does tremendously. So nobody's saying, hey, don't get too, don't do too much because you're just a worker. No, you're a somebody, right? So that's what we
Right.
did yesterday. We was in New
Mhm.
York. We had a good time. Almost missed it. New York traffic
Mm.
is terrible, right?
Mhm.
When you put the GPS and it says, hey, you're an hour away, and then you hit traffic and then it turns to an hour and a half away. So let's just say we ran for the boat. They say, hurry up, man. Listen, we give y'all 2 extra minutes. So we ran for the boat. But other than that, man, I'm
Oh,
excited. New month,
right.
opportunities. Once again, it's not
Mhm.
the time to take your foot off the gas, people. Right? A
Mhm.
lot of people have already phoned in 2023.
Mhm.
You have, if you're watching this, you listen to this, you've given up, and you can't wait till the ball drop to start again, which is
That's
what
right.
most people do, right? But I'm
Mhm.
telling you, take it one day at a time, right? And just keep going, right? Just keep going, right? December still counts as the 12th month of the year, and let's get to it.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, my dear, to you and Jabri,
Thank you.
your beautiful son. I'm so proud of y'all. Anybody who's listened to the podcast for more than 3 weeks or 3 episodes knows that Flaw is my nephew, my baby sister's eldest. I say my baby sister's baby boy, but he be like, I'm the oldest. So this is a family affair we got going on here, trying to keep it all connected and trying to work together to share the blessings and the wealth within the family structure, which is the way to do it, as well as be true to the message and the mission. So I am so proud of you, my dear. Very, very good.
Thank you.
Good work, and y'all keep at it, and I'm gonna keep cheering y'all on for sure. In fact, I want to talk to you actually offline about some stuff idea that came to me. Services that I need as well
Mhm.
based on what you do. So we'll talk about that offline, right? So we are going into what is officially hibernation season. I know Flaw just said don't take your foot off the brake. I mean off the gas, but there is a way that a person can keep their momentum going as well as nourish what their next level of energy, goals, ideas, and direction is for the coming season, right? For the coming year, if we will. In spiritual culture, you have to take, you have to take reflective breaks because in spiritual culture, we understand that the external manifestation is really coming from the internal condition. So if a person keeps having trouble with their finances and can't find the direction, always in trouble with this particular obligation or responsibility or bill, they just having trouble with their financial life. Like it seems like all the time. Every month there's an issue with the financial dynamic. That's not external. That's an internal care that needs to be repaired, healed, tended to. There's an internal way of being that is contributing to the person's lack of financial stewardship, success, whatever is the issue that is giving them monthly agita over their bills. It's internal. So in spiritual culture, we take regular recharge, rejuvenation, reconnect assessment breaks. Monthly is ideal. Actually, daily is a discipline, is a disciple, right? That is every night before you go to bed, you reflect on how you did during the day and you envision yourself being, the best person, the best version. You envision what it is you want to manifest coming forward. And that should be of the highest behavior, the highest vibration, the highest frequency, right? Daily is a disciple, is a person who is disciplined about that. Minimally, we want a monthly recharge, just pull back, sit down, reflect on where you are, reflect on where you want to go. You think about it, and then you close your eyes and you visualize what it is you need to correct. We talked in the last couple of episodes about the power of the visualization being your actual creative capacity, that your imagination is where you create your three-dimensional, because the vision board that we establish may have the articles and items on it that we want, but the reality of it is it has to come through service and through a visceral frequency within us. So as we take these reflective breaks, reflective, rejuvenative assessments, then we get an understanding of where we've been, what we've been doing, and where we are going and where we want to go. Where we're at, rather, and where we want to go. So this time of the year is a very, very internally powerful time of the year. It is coming upon what we call the winter solstice. And the winter solstice is a doorway, an energetic doorway that helps a person's frequency align. So if, like in Western culture, that is United States, wherever there is the Western European overarching way of doing things, is Western culture, even if it's on the continent of Africa. That's a whole nother discussion, really. In Western culture, during this time of year, it's all about revelry. It's about parties and drinking and eating so much food and laughing and joking and really just being very, very festive this time of year. But in metaphysics, it's the time of year to go internal. It's the time of year to heal your kidneys and work on your kidney energy, right? That is, the energy of vitality and strength and youth and vigor. It's the time of year to create what you want to accomplish for the coming 4 quarters or 3 quarters. What do you want to accomplish in Q1, Q2, and Q3? And write it down. Q4 is the assessment. And then the reboot. We're in Q4 right now. Are you with me? So this time of year is about rejuvenation, reflection, even it's kind of like hibernation time, and all towards a purpose. So if you are, when the energy is at its height and you're intoxicated, like you drunk or you've been drinking for days or weeks or whatever it is, and the energy is at its height, your frequency cannot match. That energy can't give you the frequency you need to accomplish your goals in a big way, right? Unless you have other people around you, like a corporate structure, who has already got that momentum and you just riding that particular wave. But metaphysically, we know the highest vibration of what you want is going to come when you are clean in your energy and you are reflective and you are, seeking to connect, catch that wave, catch the high frequency wave. That's really the highest manifestation of your energy, right? So we want to kind of be a little less intoxicated and more reflective is what we really want to do this time of year. Yeah. Yeah. You look like you feeling that, Flaw.
Yeah, absolutely, right? I'm on the podcast, but I'm one of those, fans of the podcast. You know how you just yeah, I'm on the show, but I'm actually, in the
You're actually
stance
just
as well.
listening.
Yeah, like I'm in the stance as well, like in the audience listening. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's tough trying
Hmm.
to do both.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. I just was looking at your face and saying, "Flo, look like you got some," but it's all good. It's just all good. So you want to take the time to set time aside as much as you can. Everybody's not a disciple of spiritual culture and metaphysics. People like to dib and dab. People like to stick their toe. People like to cherry pick. People can manage what they can manage. It's no judgment about none of that, but you do want to, the message from this channel is, assert yourself towards your highest frequency as often as you can to see the results of your greatest desires and accomplishments manifest. That is the message of the mind body energy experience, right? That's what we're talking about. So, beginning around the week of the 16th, you want to really just get ready for that the solstice time period, which is the 20th straight through the 24th. Now you can, go to quite a few other really, really, really well structured channels for the great in-depth reason of the magical energy of the winter solstice. Like, it's a lot of information out there. You can start actually by reading my teacher's book, Dr. Raul Nefra Amin First, of Osiris Set Society. You can read Meduna Tears, volumes 1 through 7, honey. He got it for you. But actually, Meduna Tear Volume 1 helps you understand the magical energy of this time period. There's so many other resources that you can tap into as well. But just on the elementary level, right? I'm understanding more and more that my mission is to be foundational for people. Is to usher people in. It matters who you learn what you learn first from. That matters. It matters how you get introduced to a thing. And so the foundational understanding, the very elementary understanding of the winter solstice is it is an energetic shift in the opening of the frequency of the universe. And since we are energy, vibration, and physical matter all together, We are affected by the ebbs and flows and the adjusting and comings and goings of the universal life force. So much so that, the 7 billion people on this planet have named it something. God, spirit, dot, dot, dot. But it's really an energy. So from the 20th to the 24th, the doorway, the energy, the frequency is open. It is open and expanded and receiving and sharing a high vibrational frequency with those who can receive it and harness it to take it into the next coming 12 months. That is what that doorway is. And if the doorway, within that doorway, you are assaulted with trauma and drama and shenanigans and, the out and out attack of your senses on these social media sites and, habitual things a person may have been doing all year long, well, then that is what gets amplified in your coming year. Because the energy is there to expand your frequency to whatever level of frequency you are traveling on, whatever level of energy and currency and wave, whatever level of vibration you are traveling on. So you want to begin to raise your attention, your consciousness, your focus, and your vibrational energy to a higher frequency than it may have been. So that is, you want to begin to do more meditations. You want to get outside, even though here in the northern part of the world, of the equator, North America, it's our winter season. You still want to get out and take a lot of air in, take in fresh air, get out of your four walls, apartment, house, whatever. Take in as much fresh air as you can. You want to find more time to contemplate, to meditate, to reflect on what it is you need to work on in the coming year, what it is you want to change and become magnetized and expanded for the good in the coming months, right? So you can do that now. You can, sit down and say, okay, where am I at with my finances? Where am I at with my health? Where am I at with my relationships, my friends and loved ones, my circle of love, right? Where am I at with my connection to my own spiritual walk, whatever that is. It don't have to be nothing, don't have to be my spiritual walk or what I say my spirituality is. That is Mama Yoga. What's your spiritual walk and what's your relationship to that? That's between you and that. So in the coming days, that energy gets expanded for the greater good of what it is you're trying to do. If you are in your career is not going where you want it to go, your workplace, you might be having trouble or whatever with folks on your job or what have you. You can take this time to reflect on, what it is you need to do to better improve your capacity to get along with people better. You can't do nothing about them. You can only ever change you at any given point in time. It does not matter. You cannot do nothing about anyone else. Right? So, what can you do to improve your capacity to be a higher vibrating person? A person who has a loving, attractive, inviting spirit. What can you do? And this is the time to think about that. I want to say this in another breath. I know you ain't saying too much, Flaw, but that's okay. I'm just run with it.
Mhm.
Relationships are extremely, extremely important. I've said this in other shows, and I've said this on so many different stages and in different groups or whatever. The trick of those who would rule over the masses, the trick is to keep you thinking that you can do everything by yourself. That's the greatest trick, is the divide and conquer. Is that you so damn smart and you so where you are because you so brilliant and beautiful and fabulous. No. You where you are because somebody paved the way. Somebody created space for you to be enjoying what you are enjoying. I recently saw a short. Was it a short? Anyway, it was YouTube. I think it was a short because it wasn't that long. I couldn't even manage it if it was that long. I'd be like, child, I'm gonna find this mama and her son. This lady has a 19-year-old son. She works 120 hours a week.
How much? How many?
120 hours a week. I think it's 180 hours a week in a week, isn't it? Well, she's always working. She has 3 jobs. She works 120 hours a week. And her son is always stressing her about buying a label. He's 19 years old. He don't work nowhere. She give him $1,000 a month of allowance for nothing. And now he's pissed off at her because he wants $1,500 more so he can buy Louis and Balenciaga and the rest of this bullshit. And she at her mind's wit. She don't know what to do. Because if she don't give him the money, then he has a full tantrum in the floor. A 19-year-old man, young man, bearded babies is what they call them.
See, that's hard for me to understand because in this parenting, like it's parenting. So that's kind of hard for, like, I can see it happening, but as
Right.
far as I'm helpless and I want to help my baby, right? I don't tolerate no disrespect, right?
Right.
An adult child, right? Your young childs, they get disciplined. Your adult children can get disciplined, not in the, not in the, hey, you're on punishment, but
Mm-hmm.
something is, the way I see it, something is bothering her, something is triggering her to where
Yeah.
she thinks she needs to work this hard to continue to baby a grown adult. So
Right.
it's a disconnect somewhere. I just don't know what it is, right? I don't know this lady, but
Right. Well, the reality, I don't know either. Again, I just saw the post, the video, but the reality of it is that, if you're working 120 hours a week, you ain't parenting.
yeah,
Your focus is money for whatever it is you're trying to do, trying to keep your head above water, ground, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That there is no parenting, and it's clear that the parenting has fallen through the cracks, that this young man is so entitled and really so aggressive towards her when she can't provide him money to go and buy some labels. And again, it sounds like what has parented him has been social media, and I can't kick this lady in the back. Where's the young man's father? We know that there is an assault on the family. It just is. And we can't pretend that families are not under assault. All families, but particularly the most vulnerable families, which are African foundational Black American families, Africans born in America. Those of us whose ancestors have been here for 200, 300, 400 years, whatever, you know, our families are under attack, assault. And the whole thing is, the family is how you increase wealth. When you have your team, people that you can create wealth with, that is how you come up. That's how you you create a vibration of lasting energy. But if all the pieces are not there, and you got one person trying to do every single thing, no matter how that got like that in terms of the immediate reasons for that, it's concerning. It's very, very concerning. So that young man has no respect for his mother outside of she's supposed to go work and get him money to buy labels. So when he go out in the street, he could be looked at a certain way. He could flex on the gram or the Facebook or TikTok or wherever the heck, and it's really, really concerning.
Real quick,
Mm-hmm.
just to touch on what you just said, and it's something that I noticed this morning, right? So remember I said I was in New York with a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
So our team, right? Speaking of teams, our teams took a picture, right? Is on the Instagrams and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see it when you go look, but then you'll see the New Yorkers in the back of us, right? Like we're on a boat, and it's like a few months ago, besides Jabri,
Mm-hmm.
let's say it's 10 of us, it would have been strangers, right? A few months ago, I didn't know who these people were. But here you are with this new energy, right? And this newfound bond. I think friendship is a strong word, but this
Mm-hmm.
newfound bond, right? Group of collectives. Behind us is New York, the lights, right? The Statue of Liberty. And I looked at the picture and I said, man, look at my new tribe. Look at my new group of friends. Look at my new, right? Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, and I tell people this, right? The friends you have now are your friends from a previous celebration, a previous milestone, a previous moment. It
Right.
doesn't mean that these friends are going to go with you to the next level,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so when I hear you talking about a lot of people want to do it themselves, typically because your friends don't see your vision. So a lot of times we hold on to our friends just to stick it to them or say, "Hey, I can do this," and you go off you go off by yourself. But
Mhm.
typically, when you go off, by yourself, there's somebody waiting for you with some type of information,
Right.
somebody to help you along the way. So a lot of people today are no new friends type of energy, no new this, no new that. But I think that's a terrible way to look at it. It's
Mhm.
especially when it's time for you to branch off to
Mhm.
do better things. But that just came to my mind because that was on my mind, right? You don't notice that, hey, you know what? I'm in a different crowd now,
Mhm.
a different space. So
Mhm.
maybe, just maybe, when they call me for our what we celebrate 20 years, 2001. Yeah, we celebrated 20 years on like a high school graduation.
Yeah.
Maybe when they call me for the 30th, I'm not there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No,
I mean, maybe you are there, but you flexing hard.
maybe, but it's like, well, because of the energy, it's like, man, yeah, I can't wait
Yeah.
to see some people that they don't affect my life no more. Like, what am I running? Like, what am I excited to see? Strangers, right? Like
Mhm.
we call ourselves friends or old classmates. Is like, oh, you know what? I'm over here now, right? So
Yeah.
I just think that people need to understand that, hey, not all your friends are not going to go to the future with you, not even
Right.
be in the present with you. When you talk to them, more than likely they want to talk about what you guys did already. So
Yep. They stuck
just,
in
yeah,
that flaw is such an excellent point, and it's really like a stages of life, because I am currently right there. At the beginning of this year, through my meditative, reflective practices, I'm very clear that it's time for me to create and make myself accessible to a new group or new groups of people, right? And it's time for change in my own life. Change I have, when I open social media, or even I got like at least probably 15 old cameras around here, and I open some of my pictures. I'm proud of the work that God has blessed me to do in the last 30 years. I'm very, very proud of my contribution. I can hold my head up and say, wow, look, I made this contribution here. I mean, not in a big chested kind of way, but in a reflecting on your life kind of way. It's now time for some changes to expand that reach, that contribution. And that requires new groups. that requires a receptivity to different frequencies, right? and a receptivity. Like you said, here you are on a boat, and I know your person is basically really like an introvert, in that way. And here you are on a boat in the middle of the water up in New York with people who 2 days ago you probably wouldn't even had a drink at a bar with them, or a nightclub or whatever. But you're finding you're open. And so it is for our lives when we reflect, when we have a regular practice of reflective assessment, we become a little more receptive to the direction our lives is taking, and we kind of lean into it, especially if we can create a win-win-win. A lot a lot of times the old groups or the old patterns of being are really kind of like just a win for that group. It's not really a win if you are seeking to go into a direction that's more expansive, because oftentimes those particular connections are, for lack of a better term, fearful of your expansion, fearful of moving what they may perceive moving beyond them. And nobody don't have that right. And if they feel like that, well, that's a big tell. That's like permission to not to cut them off, you know? You know what I'm saying? But relationships are everything. And it's very tough sometimes to be like, let me just be clear. You're deciding, agreeing with your spirit to expand what it is you're trying to do has nothing to do with cutting other people off or getting rid of other people out of your life or leaving groups that you are connected to. That could be their perception, but that does not have to be what is the actual truth of what is taking place. You are simply following the vibrational frequency current in obedience to what is on your spirit and your heart. That's what it is. I hope I can't say it no more clear than that.
Yeah, it's not like you firing your friends. You just so
Right.
different. Hey, I haven't talked to him about you. That's right, you haven't. I just noticed that too. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
but because you're so
Yeah.
far gone, now you have to. It's like you got to change my feelings for you now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, hey, do not come with me with negative energy, right? And if
Right.
you can show me that you can, you're not throwing me off my
Mm-hmm.
trajectory that I'm headed to. I don't like. We're still friends
Yeah.
if it still fits, right?
Yeah.
Start talking because if I'm somewhere, right, and I'm having a great time, it's positivity, and the old friend comes to me and you want to talk about sad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Now we're having that conversation. Hey, this friendship's not working out. Like
Right.
you don't have that conversation when you go off, but if you just happen to run into them,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you haven't heard from me. I haven't heard from you. So
Right.
what are we
Right.
doing? But if that conversation doesn't really go right, then you say, you know what, this isn't
Mm-hmm.
gonna work for me. Like I don't need no negative vibration going on, man. It's like
Right.
because if I'm the energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because there's positive and negative energy, right? Always negative and positive. Which side are
Mm-hmm.
you going to be on? If I'm telling you, hey man, I got this good thing going, because as friends, you always want to tell your friends, your peoples, what you got.
Right.
I got this good thing going on. And
Mm-hmm.
the person answers you with, yeah, I don't think I can do that, man. My wife left me.
Yeah.
I just told you what I got for you.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you got going on. I'm sorry. Like I
Mm-hmm.
can't do both, right?
Right.
Because so that's just how it is, right? So it depends on how that conversation goes to where, hey, maybe we might end this friendship right now. So
Yeah. Well, I think too, if you're the engine of the relationship and you know that because you're always the one calling,
mhm.
you're always the one reaching out. Like the people never call you back when you leave a message, which really is a pet peeve of mine. That is, I, I'm trying to not get triggered sitting up here.
Well, now you're a new iPhone user. What about when they leave you on red? Like when you see the red?
I don't have no conversations with them people no more. So I'm not getting no left on red and messages not returned. If I call you, Or I text, and I'm old school. I like to pick up the phone. I want to hear your voice. There's a vibrational exchange. This whole divide and conquer is on a whole 3PO type of level with the texting thing. But if I reach out to a person and they don't return my call, they don't text me, and then I call them again or text them again and they don't text me, I don't reach out. And it's people that I have not spoken to for years because I was the engine. And people say, "Oh, I'm busy." People always call, return, communicate with folks they want to talk to. We are all busy. I don't know nobody busier than me. But I just that's like a pet peeve of mine. It really kind of, so what I did was I saw that as the opportunity to understand that this person doesn't want the relationship, can't manage the relationship, or they or have something going on in their life where I'm not going in that direction anymore. We're not going in the same direction. I'm not angry. I haven't damned them or I haven't dismissed them from my life. I've just decided to redirect my frequency. And let me tell you, the boys from Earn Your Leisure said something that was so profound. They said, we talked about this several episodes back, and I'm probably going to bring it at episode 400. I'm probably going to bring it up again where they were on the Joe Budden show. And I thought Joe was so harsh towards them. I was like, ugh. Joe Budden, why are you acting like that? And because he was like, y'all going to be in a scandal someday. He was like prophesying all this negativity on Troy and Rashad, saying, y'all done left people, y'all ain't got nobody mad at y'all. Why y'all ain't got nobody who you done dirty? And they were like, we haven't done anybody dirty. We just have gone on with our business. So the point I'm trying to get to is Joe asked them, y'all have no people that y'all left behind that was salty behind it? And Troy said something that was masterful. He said, we didn't leave anybody behind. We just continued to elevate. And whoever could come, came. And who didn't, whoever couldn't come, couldn't understand the elevation, wasn't with the elevation, was confused by the elevation, felt like they couldn't breathe during the elevation, we just, pieced them up, dapped them up, but we going this way. That's the right flow. I ain't leaving nobody. I never left nobody. I just am going on. If you can breathe, we'll have tea. If not, I don't know what to tell you. It's okay. Everything is okay. But I know one thing that women do, particularly, I don't know about any other woman, but I know specifically Black women, what we do is we ignore our calling a lot of times for other people, for the group, for the friends, for the church, for the sorrow, for the community, for whatever. We ignore or put the message on our heart in the back burner for other dynamics frequently, very, 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 very frequently. But we have to answer that calling on our heart, because that's part of the rebalancing of humanity. As the mother of all, the rebalancing of humanity comes from the mission that's put on your heart, that little quiet thing you're supposed to be doing that you ain't doing because you feel like you got to give your energy, time, effort to this pastor or this leader of this, or a woman's supposed to get behind the man and do what he say, even though it's not connected to her mission. If it is, that's all good. If what your mission on your life is, don't be texting me and emailing me nothing about no feminism neither, because I ain't no feminist. That's a dirty word as far as I'm concerned. I'm not a feminist. I love all people, and nobody is above being told they ain't right if they ain't right. So, women, it's all good to partner with a man and follow your minister and your pastor or your chief or your leader or whoever, as long as that mission is congruent with the mission that God has put on your heart. If it's not congruent, if the minute you go to them and say, you know, I think I want to go to school, they say, oh, no, that's going to take too much time away from what we're doing over here. Why, why wouldn't you be more educated and credentialed in something, be a help? No, you can't do that because that's going to take away from time that I need you to be doing XYZ. Do the mission that's on your heart, honey, and follow that mission. And whoever can breathe as you elevate and ascend will be with you. But who can't, it's okay. Ain't no hate, no anger, no love lost, none of that. It just is what it is. But we all have to make our contribution so that the darkness doesn't take over completely. We just do. All right.
I feel amazing. So amazing. Like I think, just piggybacking, I think that a lot of us put too much energy on people that's been there for us this whole time, man. It's okay to move on. It's okay to move on. Like it's like for women, right? From my experience with women, right? A lot of girls from school, they friends, and all they want to do is just be a shoulder to lean on when things ain't going right for them. But when you moved on and you got a husband and a family, who cares? Like I got my own things that I got going on, right?
Right.
I get it, right? We all need, but eventually, right? Maybe you need, or maybe like because you're transferring energy, right? If something happened with you, I understand, but I just don't, you shouldn't want to be that person all the time, right? What are we, 30, 40, 50? And we always think, don't you want to be around people that's doing better than you or doing as good as you so you can have that energy bounce off you, right? Instead of, hey, my girl, right? She's single, I'm married, she's always got men problems. If you're married and who like same thing for fellas, I just think that that's a conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah.
Be around people that's winning like you, because it's not just about money, right? Personal life. If your personal life, you feel like you're winning, why do you got to have that one male friend who's not? Like they're going to bring you down eventually somehow with some type of thoughts. So.
Yeah. Well, again, people are comfortable. It's very scary to go outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of, self-confidence and reliance to go out of your comfort zone. And that's why, we stay connected to tribes and people and situations and dynamics that don't necessarily serve us, and was good for the time that it was good for. It's all good. Ain't nobody mad at that. But if you feel like you're a person who wants to do more with your life, you feel like you have a mission on your heart, be receptive to the spirit saying, why don't you go to this event in Atlanta? Or why don't you, go ahead and take the train up to New York to an event that somebody invited you to who is in the space where you're going? Hey, right?
Especially stuff like that. Imagine you just running into somebody and their conversation is, hey, I'm going to Atlanta next month. Come with me.
Yeah.
Do you understand how powerful that is, right?
Yep.
Like I'm going, obviously, like I'm going there for a reason, right? I'm going to Atlanta.
Right.
And I just think that the message, when the message is that big, take it into consideration, right? Don't let the first thing be, I don't think I'll have a sitter. If you got to figure something
out. Figure it out, honey. Figure it out, baby.
Somebody says, hey, I'm going this place, I need you to come with me. You got to understand how that can literally change your life, right? Because it might have more of an impact on you than it did the person that invited you.
Right.
Change your life, and you don't even like, hey, I'm going because I trust this person, and wind up changing somebody's life. But it's just all in the conversation. If somebody just says, hey, let's go here, what? Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, now let's qualify that. If somebody just walk up to you and be like, listen, I'm going somewhere. I'm going to Atlanta. Why don't you come get back in his trunk?
Yeah. No.
Like, this is the new station wagon. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah, let's definitely clarify some things. I'm not saying if somebody just drives by and say, hey, I'm going to Atlanta, hop in.
You need a ride? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
I'm good.
all of that stuff, and do your research. Of course, if somebody says I'm going to Atlanta, you're going to want to know why, right?
Yeah.
And if it's a a seminar, some type of event, some type
Yeah.
of powwow, get together,
Yeah.
money making, strategizing event that you can actually Google and look up, right?
Mhm.
Go because you become interested, or go because you want to support your friend that you say that haven't talked to you in a while. Well,
Yeah.
he or she's inviting you to Atlanta. You come on in,
That's right.
right? Since I haven't spoke to you in months, what we doing, right?
Mhm.
So that's just how it works.
No, that's real. That is, especially if it's connected to something that you're doing or something you want to do. You got to be outside, and that's kind of like a thing. You have to be outside. One of the things that Troy and Rashad of Earn Your Leisure say, that they are at every single thing, like they are everywhere. And the people who are movers and shakers see them. Dang, y'all everywhere. And so that's the thing that in the coming year, I know I'm going to be working on, is being more outside, because the next level is calling.
Mhm.
So if it is my destiny and the blessing of my life to have another 30 years, when I open my next set of 15 phones or cameras or my social media or whatever it's going to be in 30 years, I can be like, I'm proud of the work I did. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Listen, go out and get your Mama Yoga Chakra Healing Well and Balance workbook, ebook. It's an ebook as well as a workbook. Please go ahead and purchase it, because what I'd like to do is I'd like to do a read through on this book as well as exercises with everybody who has the book. I'd like for us to come together in a group and we do, the actual exercises together. I put up show some yoga moves and different mudras, that is hand movements and what they're for, all of that connecting the chakra energy, and go more in depth on the work that is in this book. So if you go ahead and purchase it on my link tree, which is in my bio, as well as in my YouTube link, then I will get your email and everything, and I can email you in the next couple of weeks when we're going to do our group our group sessions, and they're going to be very helpful and influential. I'm not charging anything for the group session. I just want you to get the book, especially the workbook, so you can write in it and all of that. And we'll come together in a small group on a weekly basis and go over how to balance and heal our chakras to better fine tune this instrument that is our physical vessel, so that we can receive and emit the vibration, energy, and frequency to its highest degree. All right. Mind, body, energy, and balance experience, chakra healing and balance workbook. And Flaw, tell them where they can listen to our show.
You can find the Mind, Body, Energy podcast, Mind, Body, Energy, and Balance podcast on Spotify, right? Leave us a review on Spotify. They can do that now. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, right? Also on YouTube, like and leave a comment, right? Because that helps us with the algorithm. It lets us know that, hey, there's not bots watching, there's actually real people watching.
Mm.
And just say, share it if you like what you hear. Share the podcast, right? It's for the people, by the people. So in order for this thing to grow, the people need to, play their part, right? So, like I said, if you like what you hear and you are feeling the gems, hey, just spread the word, share it, like, comment, and share, subscribe. We appreciate it.
All right. And once again, thank you. We went live on Facebook in the Mind, Body, Energy, and Balance group, the private group. And thank you, everybody who tuned in. We didn't really get a chance to, again, working out the technology, didn't really get a chance to communicate too much or engage too much with people who were on live. But we appreciate y'all listening to the show. And the replay will be up. You can go on YouTube and also listen to, as Flaw just said, all of the platforms. Okay. So thank you so much. Listen, keep your mind, body, and energy in balance, so much so that you walk through your life in peace. Till next time, peace and love.